Thank you. Abantu baito mbuyamore. Sijasikia. Abantu baito mbuyamore. BBI egoro. BBI egoro. Nimemaliza kisi yangu. Now I am going to be very brief. And I want to ask you the question, which is very important. And we want us to talk about the BBI document. I want you to ask yourself the question, why do we need a referendum? We need a referendum because the Constitution of Kenya was not enacted by Parliament. The Constitution of Kenya was enacted by the people of Kenya. And there is a mischief with this Constitution, the 2010 Constitution is dealing with. The good constitutional principles that we had after independence, all of them died in Parliament. And a member of Parliament, I know that all of them died in Parliament. Whether it was one multi-party system, it did not die with the people, it died with Parliament. Whether it was security of tenure of judges and the Attorney General, it did not die with the people, it died in Parliament. So the Constitution of Kenya 2010 talks about power, it talks about authority, it talks about functions. If you read the Constitution of Kenya, the only body that has power, which is sovereign power, it is the people of Kenya. It is the people of Kenya. If you look at the power of the president, it is not described as power. It is described as functions and authority. If you look at the powers of the Senate or the National Assembly, it is not described as power, it is described as functions or authority. And you even can go to the judiciary. Therefore, those who want the Constitution to be changed through a parliamentary initiative, they are trying to destroy the fundamental foundation of Constitution 2010. And to do that, the people cannot wait. People cannot wait. It is now. And the Constitution says that you need a publication period of 90 days. Once we have the constitutional question, we have a publication period of 90 days. So it is feasible to have a referendum within 90, by the end of June, July this year. And I'm talking as a lawyer who has practiced law not only in small courts but in very, very big courts, and you know that. Secondly, and I'm saying this in appreciation of the presence of the cabinet secretaries who are here, the BBI report is a historical document. If you go to any country, including the United States of America, they have two very important documents: the Declaration of Independence and the Freedom Proclamation. If you go to South Africa, they have the Freedom Charter, and in Tanzania, they had the Arusha Declaration. For the first time in Kenya, we're having a political, legal document and socio-economic blueprint for this country. And therefore, I want to encourage those who are inside government, not tomorrow but today. If you read chapter 7 of the BBI report, when it talks about economic revolution, that revolution does not need to wait for the referendum. It should happen now. Our young people need jobs now, not tomorrow. We want to deal with poverty now, not tomorrow. And I want to advise, although we should not be calling people's names, those who are in government at the highest level, instead of running around, read chapter 7 of the BBI report, which sets out what the government should be doing now, not tomorrow. If it is debt, it is there. If it is poverty, it is there. And all the issues that are facing the country today. Finally, I want to say this. Prime Minister Raila Odinga, you and Uhuru Kenyatta, you have shown us a spirit of patriotism, that Kenya is bigger than any one of us. If Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta can sit together and say Kenya is bigger than any other institution or any other power, spiritual or temporal, how can you begin to take us backwards? And I can only say, there are some people who can be in a moving train, and when he's inside the train, when the train stops, when he stands, he thinks the train has stopped. Those who do not know that the train has started moving from Kisii today, the 10th of January 2020. This is the beginning of the creation of a new Kenya. Long live Kenya! Asanteni sana.